This is Aswad Walker, Associate Editor with the Defender Network. Um, we are here doing an article on prom season 2021 and how it's been impacted by COVID. And we have a mother-daughter duo. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting with mom.
I am Alisa Peppers.
I'm Reagan Peppers.
And Reagan, how do you spell that?
Reagan.
Okay, got it. So we're going to start off with the questions for you, Reagan, if you don't mind, mom. So what high school do you go to?
I go to Ridge Point High School, which
Okay,
is in Siena.
you said what?
It's in Siena.
Okay. So Ridge Point High School, went to the prom. What date was the prom?
Prom was April 24th. It was
Yes.
April 24th, that Saturday.
All right. So was it a traditional prom, or did your school do what some other schools are doing, some type of alternative?
Our prom was not traditional at all. It was not even called prom. It was called MORP, which is prom spelled backwards. And it was hosted on our football field. And it had tables outside all around the perimeter of the football field and kind of like a dance floor in the middle. But most people's proms aren't outside for sure. So
Right.
it was definitely not traditional.
Okay. So how did you like that MORP? Or
I won't lie, like before the actual prom itself, I was kind of on the fence of if I wanted to go or not, because the whole name MORP was kind of throwing me off because we weren't getting to call it prom. But
Mhm.
I'm glad that I went for sure, because I'm an online student. I've been online since the second semester of my junior year. So
Mhm.
I see, my close friends often, but the kids that, you only see when you go to school, you don't see those
Mhm.
kids until you go to school. So it was more like a reunion for me. And like each person that came in, it was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. So it gave more of a reunion type vibe.
Okay. Um, what was your favorite prom experience memory?
That's a hard one. My favorite, okay, it was when they announced the prom king and queen, and a lot of the people, a lot of old friends, I guess, that I just hadn't seen, we were just all in a big group, just talking. Everybody was going to college, or talking about where everybody was going to college and everything. And they announced the prom queen and king, and everybody was just like, oh my gosh, thank you. We're just all kind of celebrating together. And it was just nice because we hadn't had an event that brought us all together like that
Yeah.
until then.
Okay. So you all got dressed up and all.
Yeah.
Okay, mom's going, yep.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
So, mom, uh, what type of COVID precautions did the school take, and were you okay with those precautions?
I was, like she said, she didn't really think it was going to be a prom, but the parents, we were excited that they were even going to give them an opportunity to do something. So you had to have a mask. You could not invite anyone outside of the school. So
Okay.
you couldn't invite any friends or anyone you were dating outside of Ridge Point. So it was only Ridge Point seniors. No parents were there. So they limited how many people would be there, and it was outside. It
Mhm.
was all spread out. They had the music, the DJ, and everything. So I was okay with that, and no mask could come off ever. So I was okay with that. I was actually excited for her to get to do something. Like she said, she hadn't had an opportunity to even see the students. So this
Right.
was outside, and they took every precaution that they could.
Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, Reagan, how did you feel about your senior year? Like, did you feel like you missed out on the full traditional senior year experience? How was that?
Um, in a way, yes, only because I'm not in school physically, so I'm
Mhm.
not, seeing my old teachers, like my freshman teachers or anything like that. I don't get to walk my high school halls one last time or anything like that. But the school and like the community's done a pretty good job of giving us something to do, and kind of modifying it with COVID. So we still got our prom. We'll still get a graduation and like a celebration. Like our school has a last walk, and we'll get like a parade through the neighborhood. So I don't really feel like I'm missing out on the senior activities, just the physical part of going to school, because the fun of, well, sometimes the fun of just being a senior, kind of like that memory, is just like saying goodbye to your freshman teachers and your sophomore teachers, and I won't get to do that because I'm not in school. I'll say goodbye to them over the computer.
Yeah, yeah. How was it for you, Mom, watching your daughter have to have a very non-traditional senior year?
It was hard, but like I told her, this is what she has. This one will go down in the history books, and the way I tell her about my senior year and what I did, she'll do the same thing. She'll tell her children, you won't believe it, but during the pandemic, I was a senior and we had to have a mort instead of a prom. That's probably a brand new word that they'll use. She'll have to say she hasn't been to school. We've been laughing about this. She hasn't been in school since her junior year because COVID hit right after spring break for us, and we were home. And she's about to graduate high school. So it was tough to see her going through her classes online with no friends around and doing study groups online with no friends around. But like I told her, this one is one for the history books. This is what
Yeah.
she will talk about.
Right, right.
And she's done a good job because I'd be going crazy right now.
So at the prom, everyone's got their masks on. So was the music on point? Was the food on point? Did you all actually dance?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had fireworks. They did a really good job. They had a good DJ. They had food, but it wasn't open food. It was like chips. Everything was closed, and they had like these cupcake pops type things that were really cool, and they were in a little box, and you have to take it back to your table, before you could eat it and everything. But for the most part, they did a really good job. The fireworks were probably I take that back. The best memory was the fireworks at the end of it. Everybody watched the fireworks, and there's like a 5-minute show, and then afterwards we all left our prom. So that was probably the best part.
Yeah, they took all precautions. I mean, with food, with entry and admittance, because she wanted to take friends from outside of the school, and she couldn't. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, last question. So you're graduating high school. So what's happening in the fall?
Oh, I will be going to LSU in the fall.
Wow.
Yay.
Louisiana. So why Louisiana State? Are y'all from Louisiana originally, or what?
No, we're from Texas, and
Okay.
I was pushing the Longhorns, and she's always wanted to go to LSU, and when she got accepted, it was a big deal. So
Wow.
yeah, so she's excited.
I am.
Welcome.
It's a good school.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to go up there this fall.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank both of you for giving us your time. And you have my email, so you can send whatever photos and whatever leads you have for me for other parents and students.
Okay, we will do that. Oh, good. This was painless.
She was nervous.
I was more nervous than she was.
No need. Oh, how did was it a volleyball tournament?
Oh,
how did that go?
If I might put a plug in there, if you're ever looking for a story,
okay,
you can sidebar this.
I'm always looking for stories.
There's a gymnastics team in Sugar Land.
Oh, gymnastics, okay.
It is a team of 6 girls. The majority of the team are, and I know it's the defender, are children of color. I think there is African American. We have, I think she is Indian, but she calls it something else. I forgot how she describes herself. And they won in the state of Texas. And Texas is so large, it's broken up into regions. They won in the state of Texas. So they got to represent the state of Texas at a regional competition against 7 other states. And my daughter, she won first place in several of the events, and second place overall, got second behind Colorado. But she beat, New Mexico and Wyoming and Oklahoma and all of these states. So I think it would be a cool story for such young girls. Their ages 10 to 14, and there are only 6 of them. So they have been, since the pandemic, because they couldn't train, they've been training online, doing conditioning online. And then they finally opened the gym only for the team. So they had this big gym with just 6 girls. And then slowly other teams started coming. And then slowly they added a couple of rec classes. and they were able to compete in a couple of competitions, enough to qualify for the
Mhm.
state competition. And then they went and won, and then enough to qualify for the regional competition. And that's where we were. We're in Denver.
All right, all right. I'm definitely interested in that. Please
Okay.
forward me that information.
I will. I will.
All right, well, again, thank you both.
Thank
And
you.
I'll definitely let you know when this article is coming out and when the video clips are coming out as well.
Okay. Okay. And we'll send you some pictures now.
Okay, thank you. All right, y'all,
Thank you.
take care.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.